I am currently in the Bronx in New York, but I'm originally Canadian and I'm from a town called Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And I've been here for like, I think almost 10 years now. And I originally was doing musicals, like Broadway shows, and that was my career for probably a solid 20, 25 years.
Mhm.
And then near the end of it, I just started to transfer because I was a dancer and I was always having to stay fit to be in these shows. I kind of transferred into fitness and started to really love it. And I was recognizing that I wasn't feeling as great in the musicals because, aging and just the entertainment industry in general is a little bit judgmental. So I was like looking to do something that made other people feel good, and also my own soul, So that's how it started. And then I just started doing teaching bar classes at a studio in Manhattan,
Mhm.
and that transferred into teaching. I went to a studio for personal training, and it was called Uplift, and it was an all women's studio. And that's where I really learned how to do strength training and more classes and HIIT and Tabata and cardio and boxing. So, I just kind of expanded my repertoire. I love the variety,
Mhm.
the options that are available to people now, and especially since COVID happened. I originally was working in Manhattan and I started my own company called Tremfit that I wanted to transfer into online training.
Mhm.
And nobody went, like, everybody's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And suddenly I transferred everybody into it. And so now that that's happening, it's so accessible. So fitness is really accessible to everybody. You can do it in your living room. And I think that's the greatest thing. It's been, everyone's been able to do it. You can be whatever size you are, whatever age you are. There's something that is there for you, to feel better about yourself, to feel good, to feel strong, to get healthy mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Stability is a tough one, right? So just if you're a personal trainer trying to go one-on-one, a lot of times you're doing, transformations for 12 weeks, or you're putting people through these programs and they're like, okay, good, I feel good, I'm gone now. And so trying to get leads and clients, stay on top of the industry, stay on top of what people are enjoying now. Like somebody comes in and they're injured in certain places, so they need corrective stuff, or they can't jump, so they need low impact. So also just staying on top of your certs, your certifications, and knowing that you can't basically just stick with one thing. You've got to be able to be a jack of all trades. Um, like I said before, I had already kind of wanted to do something like this.
Mhm.
And my thought was, oh, it'll be great for people because they don't have to pack a bag, especially in New York, where, everybody has to commute on a subway. You got to get there early to get your training in, then you shower, then you go to work. Maybe you go train after work, so you still have to pack that bag, then you've got your commute home.
Yeah.
And that's great. Some people love it, and I do miss the gym, but everybody that transferred with me into a virtual training and at-home training online, they don't want to go back to the gym. They're just like, this is amazing. I can get up. I don't have to get up at 4 in the morning. I can get up at 5 and I can have my coffee and I can do my workout with you. And, and then they're still accountable because you're still having somebody there making sure that you're getting up and doing it and programming you and making sure that you're doing things safely. But then you get to shower in your own shower and get in your car and go to work. Well, definitely, I think people are really learning that they can do this at home, and people are building their at home gyms, and they're getting, like I said, it's inclusive. It's, whatever age you are, whoever's at home with you, if you've got your kids, if there's it's mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and the kids, maybe now we're doing family workouts more often, right? And we're doing things that people can just do in their living room and all over the world. So if there's somebody that's looking for something, it doesn't necessarily have to be down the street from them. They can go online and just find something or somebody they connect with, because right, usually it's the connection that people want.
Right.
And so they can just search. They don't like somebody, try somebody else.
Yeah.
I personally think it's what you have, right? So being from Canada, it's there's a lot more space, so there's a lot more activity, but then people go into hibernation because of the winters. So you'll find that those summer months, everybody in Canada is out playing or they're doing winter sports, right? So then you're skating, you're skiing, you're sledding, you're cross country skiing, you're snowshoeing. So I feel like a lot of what your environment gives you is what you're capable of doing, or what drives you fitness wise. Because I know the summer months, even in New York, it's a little hot. People want an air conditioned studio. Spring and fall, people are like, okay, I can go outside and run. I can play. I can do things outdoors.
Right.
So it's really, I think you're affected by what your city or country or continent has to offer. And a lot of that is environment, and then, space. New York is full of boutique studios and smaller studios because it's small and it's built up. So that's what people enjoy doing, but if you got a lot of space, or if you're, in Australia, you do like F45, I think that's what they love, strength training. I mean, I just feel like it kind of shows does what your environment gives you. That's what people do.
Yeah.
Just keep learning, keep asking questions, allow people to correct you, because there's so much information and it's always being thrown at us, right? And so if you're still deadlifts, if you're just working on a deadlift and you're learning a hip hinge and you're trying to teach that, there's so many ways that people connect to that term. Some people are like, I don't know what a hip hinge is, so you have to figure out how to teach it to so many different people and how they're going to understand it.
Yeah.
And so if you allow other people to give you ideas on how to teach or show you a new way of doing something, you're going to be a better teacher. And the other thing is just start, just go try and get a client, try and start training. And then you get better and better and better. I think people put things off like, oh, I've got to wait until I have, 3 clients, or I've got to wait until I get this certificate. If you've got your personal training certificate, just try and get out there. And then I also say teach classes, because that's where you meet people, especially if you're, somebody that wants to do just personal training. It's hard to get clients. It's hard to get leads. So doing something in a group is a good way to get to know people one-on-one.
Yeah, great advice. And the first one that you said about learning, I think it's very important because it's such a wide variety. There are so many things to know in the fitness industry that we can't even imagine how many things there is to know. So I think it's very
constant.
Yeah. So you have to keep on going, and things are like the trends are getting renewed every, I don't know,
every 3 months. It's like somebody, and it's also your clientele, right? That's like I was saying in the beginning, people come and they can't jump, they have no core, they don't know how to balance. So you can't just throw somebody into squats and deadlifts and, mountain climbers. You have to start from scratch and know how to get the inside strong before you start working on the outside, the internal before the external. That's my opinion.
And once you know a lot of things about the fitness industry and fitness in general, it keeps things more interesting, I think, in the long run. So I
Yes.
think knowing more gives you more tools and knowledge to like make your workouts more interesting. Or so I think it's great that you've mentioned it.
I personally, okay, as a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely my clients. It's the
Mm-hmm.
people in my life. Um, it's the people that, I specialize in corrective exercises and a lot of core building, like getting people, it started because my mom was someone that couldn't go to my classes that I was teaching in Manhattan because they were just too much for her. She had to start from the start, like really work in her core before she could even step in a class and hold herself on one leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was where I really went, I got to figure this out and help people that need that, because I want everybody to be able to do the stuff I do in Manhattan. So that was that. And I think when people get it, I'll be looking at them, I'll be like, okay, we're going to stand and just hold for 30 seconds with your leg up and just breathe. And they get that 30 seconds and they find their balance. And then they send me a message and they say, I was out, I did my first hike with my kids. I picked up I carried my stuff from work upstairs without a problem. And I'm 65 years old. And I haven't been able to do that for years. Those are the things. That's what it's about, because we're
Yeah.
really, instead of losing weight, I'm not, that's not my thing. I always say, stay away from this and let's just get you strong. Let's feel strong. You'll feel it. You will. And so when they come to me and they tell me that's, Kara, I can't believe I did this.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because that's our life. We're trying to get through life and be the strongest that we can be through daily activities,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
And feel good and just like pick things up off the ground and not have our back give out on us.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if you can see, but she's not a trainer anymore. But I have there's you can see Jane Fonda.
Mm.
Um, so I love Jane Fonda. I remember when my mom used to have her cassette tapes and like follow along to her fitness. And
Yeah.
really, it's anybody that motivates a group of people. Like find some kind of new modality, something that they take that an entire, it causes an entire event. So, there's that. And then there's a girl that I work closely with, Lena Marti,
Mhm.
here in New York, and she's younger. She's been in the business longer than me, and she is a mentor. That's another thing to say to people, like get yourself a young mentor if you're, older, because they'll keep you young, youthful. And you won't get stuck in your ways of like, we're going to do biceps and triceps, like you figure out new fun things and ways to tell people how to do them.
Yeah.
Oh, stronger, not smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Stronger, not smaller, right? Trying
Yeah.
to get rid of the whole skinny is better. We for women in particular, it's just,
Mhm.
it can really mess you up. And
Yeah.
that's not what it's about. It's like getting yourself feeling good. And when you feel good inside, it truly is, it comes out on the outside.
Yeah.
And anytime whenever someone's like, I weighed myself, and you could see it, they're just like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, well, you've been lifting weight, so your fat's gonna turn to muscle, so you might gain a little more. It's not the same. You can't go on this scale. So that's always been my thing, is stronger, not smaller. That's what we are fighting for here.
Yeah. I think we're getting there, mindset wise. I think it's we're
I
on
think so
we're on the
too.
way. Yeah. So
I
that's
think
great.
so too. I think so too.
Yeah.